We are all trying to assess risks right now. Risks to our health, to our community, and to the economy. But how can we assess risks properly when we have all this complex information swirling around us? Hi, I'm Eric Hamilton, a science writer at UW-Madison, and this is Badger Talks. Today we're talking about how we think and communicate about risk during a pandemic. Our guest today is Dominique Brossard, professor and chair of life sciences communication and an affiliate with the Morgridge Institute for Research. Dominique, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So Dominique, how has COVID-19 changed how we think about risks to ourselves and to our communities?
So actually, I don't think COVID-19 has changed how we think about risk. It has intensified and given like a poster child assessment of how the public think about risk in general. When experts think about risk in objective terms, probability, the likelihood of us being harmed, the public, including you and I, Eric, we think about risk in subjective terms, qualitative terms. What's the likelihood of this harming my children? Do I know anything? Do the scientists have consensus? Is there something about this that actually is very uncertain? How should I trust people that talk about this? In short, qualitative assessment of risk is more important for us than quantitative assessments of risk.
So you mentioned speaking about the probability of risk. How do we incorporate uncertainty properly when we try to think about the risks that we're facing?
This is an excellent question, Eric. The truth is that, again, human beings do not like uncertainty. We like for things to be certain, and we like to feel in control. So when we're facing issues such as this pandemic, where there's a lot of uncertainty, we actually are, we tend to actually try to reject that uncertainty and make things more certain. And as a matter of fact, the media also tends to do that. So the problem is that we need to realize that science is all about reducing uncertainty, but there will always be some uncertainty, and we need to, to be ready to accept that.
And you also mentioned the role of trust. What role does trust exactly play in risk assessment?
Yeah, trust is extremely important when we think about risk. As a matter of fact, very often the trust we put in the messenger is more important than the content of the message itself. In other words, the same message by two different spokespersons may be interpreted very different by the people that actually receive it. So we need to actually realize that this is something that's going on. And you need to be careful that we assess who we trust and why when we hear messages about safety.
So how can media outlets responsibly communicate about trust right now? Communicate about risk right now?
Yeah, and this is so important as well, Eric, because at the end of the day, the way people learn about risk is through media coverage. So the media has an extremely important role to play in all this. So there's two things that the media should do. Number one, they need to avoid making things more certain than they are. They need to actually stop communicating, predictions as they were things that are certain that will happen in the future. Number two, they need to actually clarify who says what and when. Going back to that concept of trust, it's extremely important for the media to rely information in an accurate way, and making it more certain than it is at the end of the day is going to be a problem.
Dominique, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Eric.
I'm Eric Hamilton, and this is Badger Talks. For more information, go to covid19.impact.wisc.edu.